Rodney, welcome. Welcome to One Life Club. It's so good to have you as part of our community. You're a valued member. I'm always love to contribute and love your work ethic, love your work in general. And so it's good to have this conversation. So other One Life Club members can get to know who Rodney is and what he does. And also bigger audience as well, because, I always say running business is not fucking easy, period. We're all dealing with challenges on daily basis. And so I'm going to dig a little bit deep into challenges that every entrepreneur, every business owner is facing. But before we start that, tell us who Rodney is and what business is Rodney in?
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Emil. Thanks for having me on. It's great to be part of the club and an amazing community that we're developing and it's working out really well. So who am I? So I'm Rodney. I'm the owner of Cabinet House. We have a kitchen cabinetry business here on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland, based in Caloundra. We've had the business for a few years. Previously, before this, I used to be a full-time firefighter in Brisbane.
Right. I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, so I did that for about 15, 16 years, and would drive down from the Sunshine Coast to Brisbane 4 days a week for that.
Right.
Yeah, which I enjoyed. The guys were good, and you obviously see and do a lot of different stuff day to day that you would not normally see or hear about. But I think going back to when I was younger, I was that kid that would collect the aluminium cans and cash them in and sell the popcorn on the side of the highway, and just had that little mindset of how does this whole money situation and business sort of work. So I think I sort of tapped into that fairly early. And then during the time with the fire brigade, I think it sort of got to a point where I was happy doing it, but the business side of life gave me more interest and more excitement. So over the years, we sort of transitioned. We had the business running as just a small capacity, but then we started to build it up to what it is today, with 20 plus team members and things like that, and transitioned from one job and full time into business ownership, so to speak.
So I will just mention Rodney's in a process of finalizing details, or we are in a process of finalizing details for Rodney to actually do all the cabinetry work from the kitchens, bathrooms, and wine cellars and working robes in my personal home as well, which I'm so excited about as well. So if anybody does actually need some high end or any kind of cabinetry as well, Rodney is your man. Clearly doing work on my house, and I have done my homework to make sure that I'm picking absolutely the best. So I look forward to actually seeing your work as well, which is really exciting for us. Now, Rodney, running your own business comes with certain responsibilities. When you were a firefighter, how many years ago was that?
I left 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So 2 years ago, when you were working as a firefighter, you were responsible for yourself.
Correct.
That's it. Get in the car in the morning, drive to Brisbane. You get paid every week, fortnight, doesn't matter. Running your own business, you are responsible for 20 people. Now, the hierarchy people that were managing you at, when you were a firefighter, those guys are really working for freaking government, So when it comes to the budgets or anything like that, doesn't come out of their pocket. But when you're running your own business, like you said, you got 20, 5, 6 people that you're employing, you directly are responsible for those people, nobody else. You have to make sure they get paid. Every supplier gets paid before there's a dollar left for you to eat.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, if there's a dollar left.
If there's a dollar left. And, as we all know, in any business, I quite often talk to all my friends, and if any of them start their business, they say, fuck, this is too hard, it comes with a lot of challenges and there's not much money, for them. I said, the problem is when you're growing your business, when you're till the day you have your business flat, or till the day you sell, you never see too much money in, because you continue reinvesting it into your business. And I'm assuming, all of us business people are the same. But looking back now, did you make the right decision to start your own business?
I mean, yeah, yes, is the answer. Obviously, there's a lot of ups and downs and all that with the journey as you go along. But I think even though that your highs are high, and your lows can be pretty low. But I think if you understand that this is just part of the journey, and I think, with the highs, it's all happy and smiles, and everyone's, it's all great. But with the lows, I think if you've got a really good team or some people that you can talk to,
yes,
a good networking group, they're the sort of things that you can bounce ideas or things off people that can sort of, help you through those sort of tougher times.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think a few years ago, we started some business coaching, which I think was a really great move. It sort of taught us a lot about, planning and putting management structures and things like that into place, and sort of look at the bigger picture rather than try to deal with the day-to-day, firefighting, so to speak, of the problems that pop up.
And now, before you started your business, when you make a decision to start business, first question, why cabinetry business?
Well, my dad was a cabinet maker.
Right.
For 30, 40 years, but he was old school, very technical. Some of the stuff that he would make, like made pianos and this sort of stuff.
So it would be really creative carpentry, and a lot of it done by hand.
Exactly. And there was no computers, no nothing. So it was just, a photo, a couple of measurements, and get out of my way sort of scenario. So I think leaving school, didn't really know what to do. And then Dad was just busy and was like, you can't get in the car, let's go to work. And it sort of progressed from there into an apprenticeship. And, anybody in construction knows that they're long, hard days on the tools. I don't know anyone that doesn't have knee or back or elbows or, sore as they get older. So whilst I enjoy the cabinet making side of things, even still, I think just more of that business side of things and making those decisions and trying to work out, what works, what doesn't work. And when it works, just having that moment of, wow, we're on the sort of right path.
100%. Now, when you made a decision, you want to start your own business, and now, your business is got a multi-million-dollar turnover in it. But when you made that decision, or a lot of business people, including myself, expectations high, energy high, everything is high. Then you start, and then reality kicks in. It's like, fuck, I'm responsible for people. I got to chase business. People don't want to fucking pay me. People need to get paid. The roller coaster of the business is not easy. Is running your own business what you thought it would be?
Yes, I think. I wasn't. I tried to come into the whole process with my eyes wide open. I knew it wasn't all going to be, good times. But I think, just like I said earlier, having those people in the background that you can bounce ideas off when it does go sideways or pear-shaped, and work out how to fix a problem, or what the next move is with the team, or how do we scale, or all those sort of things. But I think the more you fail, I think the more you learn too.
Look, I don't know any business person that hasn't failed or fucked up, sometimes along the way on their journey. It doesn't matter how big or small we are. Bigger the business gets, people think it gets easier. Bigger the business gets, you just face different challenges and different problems. But I think our mental strength needs to stay the same when it comes to dealing with the issues, because I always say, being a business owner, you are facing challenges every single day, but how you react to them and how you deal with them, it's really up to us, and we can make small problem affect us big, or we can just focus on solutions and not get affected and just keep moving fucking on.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think as we say, every day there's a whole bunch of problems, small, large, or whatever they may be. But I think it doesn't matter if it's a client or a team member or whatever the situation is. I think if you can just put yourself in the right mindset, and then sort of, okay, this is the problem. How do we resolve it? What's the best solution? And try to come up with a win-win for everybody, rather than sort of a win-lose sort of scenario. So
100%. What would be the hardest part of running business that you're in?
I think probably the last couple of years during the COVID, the hardest bit we had was probably getting materials for everything.
Yeah.
Anyone in construction would know that there was a lot of struggles and dramas.
Which year did your business start off?
We were sort of part-time about 8-9 years ago.
So 8-9 years ago.
Still doing the firefighting, and then sort of transitioned full-time.
So for 8-9 years, you were running your cabinetry business and being a firefighter. So you were basically multi-fucking tasking.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. So every day off was here in the factory, just, building kitchens until sunrise to sunset and beyond, to make it work.
And that's one thing, a lot of people that have that safety net, that have that security, that have that job that they're working in, they're afraid to quit that because they lose that security, they lose money coming into their family every single week. So that's the reason why a lot of people don't start their business. But what you were doing, well, I'm going to try to minimize my risk. I'm still going to have my full-time job, and I'm still going to fucking work full-time in my cabinetry business, because the reality is when you made a decision to do both, you really had to do both.
Yeah, correct. And also over the last 10 years, we've had 4 kids as well. So my wife's, in the background hasn't worked so much because we've been bringing up the kids as well. So, you're 1 minute you're young and free, you can do whatever. Now you start to have more family responsibilities, and you're trying to develop this whole business thing, and yeah, just trying to work it all out and put it all together so that you do have that little safety net. But partway through that coaching program too, one of the big questions that I had to answer in my 90-day program was, which day are we going to stop this and go 100% into the business? So sort of burn the bridge, so to speak.
No, what I would say, when you are going on an island, burn the boats, which means there's no fucking going back.
Exactly.
You have to win, you have to eat. There's no going back. Always, a lot of people are talking about plan B. There's nothing wrong having plan B if you want that. But in my mind, is do or die. That means I got no choice but to make something work. Of course, I'm gonna make mistakes. Of course, I have to get used to, and learning about industry and business that I'm in so I can keep winning. But it's definitely not easy. But looking back now over 25 years running my own ship, would I have it any other way? Definitely not. Is the journey easy? Definitely not. But at the end of the day, is it worth it? Yes. And the thing is, you always say this to people, you gotta look at business as a 25, 30-year journey, and out of 30 years, you might have 2-3 years that are tough. But that's okay. As long as you come out okay over time, that's what counts. As long as you don't get burned bad enough that you can't get up and keep moving forward, which that should never really happen to people. What's the plan next 5 years?
The next plan, I think probably from here, I think our main thing at the moment is just getting all the little bits and pieces of the business correct. Just new software and little updates, like things like that. And then once we've got it perfectly sort of running as best we can, then sort of looking further into the future of, what are our next options? Do we look at scaling? Do we look at opening another showroom somewhere else on the Sunshine Coast or Brisbane or Gold Coast, or, just sort of looking at, what are our sort of expansion opportunities that we can have in the future?
Well, I definitely look forward to watching the progress of your business and yourself, and I look forward to us again meeting in person on a couple of days retreat that we got coming up on the Gold Coast. And it's always pleasure, and it's always great to have you part of our community as well. And big thank you for this conversation, Rodney. And we'll keep talking more.
Perfect. Thanks, Emil. I appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy. Bye.
Cheers, mate. See ya.